We're
Team Rocket
alive
is
now.
blasting off again.
Chat, you're getting quite a bit of time because this is our weird time.
You're getting a smallish time.
Yes.
I need to actually put a tweet out anyway. So.
Oh yeah. I know we didn't talk about it, but we should do your topic first.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because I think it's going to go shorter.
I think so. I mean, well, it's both passionate, equally passionate.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's what I think. Sorry to our audience who just got that yell in my microphone. I've had a rough day.
Yes. Well, I can tell you it's been a weird day as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, we will be talking about that.
Yeah, we shall. We shall.
I actually had a good thing happen too that I am going to talk about. So that's good because it should never be all negative. Negatory. Ghostwriter.
Oh yeah, I need to show. I'm going to grab something in a minute.
Oh!
No, not that. For God's sakes. No, I meant you've already seen it.
Oh!
I'm not making it any better, am I?
No, you're not.
Who's in chat and commenting on that?
No one's commented yet, so I don't think anybody's here yet.
That's good. That's good. They missed that abject weirdness.
Yeah, that'll be fun for the VOD watchers.
Yes. Yeah, there you go. You can probably see it on the thing. Hilza followed.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, that's him. So, yeah, we were sat there obviously talking about Evo today, which was quite nice. So, yeah. But we originally got talking when, like, years and years ago, when we went down to go and see them when they'd moved.
Oh, right.
And we were like, so we'd never met each other, and was like, oh, okay, so what do you like? And he was like talking about games, and I was like, oh, cool, right, well, let's talk about games. And it was like, and then he was just like, oh, do you play Street Fighter? I was like, yes, of course I do. And he was like, right, come upstairs, and he'd had 2 arcade sticks, and we just played Street Fighter 4 for like a couple of hours.
Was it that moment where he went like, did we just become best friends?
I think it might have been, but we don't see each other often. But it was just like, this is cool. I actually like cool. Like a member of the family.
That's awesome. That's very
hang on a sec.
cool.
Hang on a sec. I teased this the other week, by the way. Oh. Not again. And I'm not going to help myself by saying it finally came.
Wow, Pete is just knocking him down. Oh, yes. Haha. That is so pretty. That is unashamedly just beautiful. I love that.
I've finished reading it. I finished reading it in 5 minutes, of course.
Of course you did.
It's a comic book. It doesn't last very long.
It takes me 13 minutes to read an average size comic book.
Depends on the size of the comic book, though. Is it a trade issue, or is it a full?
Exactly. If it's just a monthly issue, like I forget how many pages is in a monthly issue.
Monthly is usually about 90-something pages.
Something, whatever. Yeah, it takes me 13 minutes, whatever that is. But when it's like the book ones, the trade paperbacks, those of course take,
Of course, yeah. And there I was about to say something else that lasts about 13 minutes, but that's not me. That's not me. That's not me.
13-minute man.
And here comes Nana. Hello, Nana.
Howdy, Nana.
He may have missed it, so.
Yeah, look at that.
I don't know if he saw that, so.
Full color.
It came in.
That's what she said.
It's only the first issue. The next 2, because it's only a 3-issue run, come in at the end of August. So once. So yeah, once it's in, I'll let you know.
Stop.
Don't bother.
Have to stop.
Just don't bother.
I have to stop.
I have dug myself too big of a hole here.
I am too old for this, people.
Maybe.
uh
Yes, I was going to briefly talk about that one. That was teased a fair while ago anyway when they announced it, but they didn't reveal who the studio was that were working on it at the time. They now have a studio assigned, and oh boy, that's a worry. It's a worry.
It's a worry. Why is it a worry?
Hang on.
Is it a bad studio?
Yes.
As we wait for Pete to look up the studio.
Oh, yeah, there we go. What's the name of them? Oh, Black Forest Games, who are well known, I say well known, for doing the Destroy All Humans remakes. And
they're okay. They're good. They're okay.
they had issues.
They all have
They
issues.
had some big issues.
Did they?
They did. I liked the idea of it, and the reveal trailer was okay. Like, aesthetically speaking, it was okay. Right. No gameplay.
Of course.
No, nothing.
It's sticking points. Which...
I know it's a teaser. I get it. But it's like, when you have something to show us.
Pete's not wrong, by the way. Joking about it and stuff, like, I'm always like,
God, yeah.
What is it? Oh, they did the Busby. Oh my gosh.
Bubsy. Oh god. Yeah, they did Bubsy reboot. So I mean, Bubsy wasn't good anyway.
No, but people love that game.
It was never good. And this is coming from someone who loves a platformer.
Oh, that's a good point, actually.
Yeah, Bubsy was shite.
It was annoying.
Yes, exactly.
It's a precursor to Crash, if you're honest. You know, it's
essentially, yeah.
It's Crash Bandicoot, but like 16-bit or whatever.
Did you ever hear what the code name for the Crash Bandicoot?
I can't remember. It was like a Sonic reference, wasn't it?
The Sonic's ass game.
That's it.
Because obviously it comes from a perspective where it's behind Crash the whole time, so it's like. Gosh. I don't know why. It just makes me laugh every time I think about that.
Oh dear! Oh dear! Oh dear!
Oh dear! Oh dear! Oh dear! So, gonna be a short show tonight because I'm in a bit of a rush. I've been in a bit of a rush all day.
My favorite is short and sweet, just like I like my men.
That's what he and she said.
That's true.
Because I don't, disparage people based on who they want to sleep with.
Yes, I prefer the male type. But that's
of course,
me.
I prefer the female, but
yeah.
Never one to do.
The world takes all kinds, as they say.
That's what she said. That's what he said.
And I take short and sweet.
Oh yes, of course. So, also I know he's not here, but good luck to Mags and Co tomorrow.
Yes, exactly. And I said it on the show? I know I told Pete, but Andrew, former guest Andrew,
is there as a guest,
and I've got to message him.
I
meant to message him.
Yes. Well, I did see that actually, and I was meant to send him a message myself saying good luck.
We need to do that.
Yeah, I'll give Max a Discord message and say I hope it all goes good.
Yeah,
if you want to come on and discuss it, go ahead.
Yeah, mention that.
If you want to, I will do.
Yeah, because I will be on his show in September, and Pete will be on his show in October.
November, I think.
November. Which will of course be a little more clear with the dates and stuff as it proceeds to get closer. I need to start this show, Pete. So.
Yes. Let me just check my background recording.
Okay, I'll talk to chat. So we have a very exciting show for you folks. No, but we really do, because Pete found me something to talk about. He gave me 3 options, which 2 of them are really good, and then he came through and he was like, wait a minute, pause all thoughts, I have a link for you. And it's unfortunately it was to Twitter, in which I don't have Twitter, and if you don't have Twitter, you can't see the comments anymore, which is like, why even look at Twitter? Because that's why I ever looked at Twitter, was just to read comments. Yeah, you can't do that anymore. So, but
What can't you do on Twitter anymore?
you can't read comments if you don't have a Twitter account.
Really?
Yep.
That's really dumb.
It's very
It's
dumb.
really dumb.
And it's like, okay, I hate Twitter now. Like, I have to be very honest and say I didn't leave for like pure true reasons because Musk is a total a-hole, but I'm glad I did leave because he is a total a-hole. I hate what that thing has become.
There's only one thing that I've actually quite appreciated with Twitter.
What's that?
Now that Elon Musk is involved.
What?
The fact that if you've been cancelled and fired from a job, he's posting that he's going to cover the legal bills for anyone who's been fired from a job due to a cancellation from Twitter.
I mean, if they can prove that and then he does cover it, then yeah, I'm definitely.
He's already been in discussion with Cara Lynn, who's the person that was at Limited Run Games.
I'll have to look into
who
that.
got fired.
I have a vague memory of that, but I don't.
I'll send you the details later on, but yeah, I saw that he was directly replying to her, and they've been in DMs, a conversation about it, so it's very possible that he could follow through with it.
If he follows through, that would be good, because he ain't following through with that cage match.
No, he's definitely not. The other thing, actually, as well, I've just thought of is that people are now getting paid for impressions.
See, I'm of two minds of that, and then we really will start the show.
Yeah, of course.
Because I 100% believe that creators and content creators, well, they're all the same, but creators, they need to be paid for their work. 100%.
They do, yeah.
Yes. But when you open up that avenue the way he has, I'm just talking about the way he has, you are opening up content farming, which is rage baiting, clickbaiting, all those types of things, because you get paid for by the click. I'm not a big fan of that. Yeah. But then I remind
To be fair, it's only over a certain amount of impressions, though.
Yeah.
So your tweet kind of has to go viral to be able to do so.
Also, I'm not on Twitter, so I don't care.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Fair enough. So whenever I feel myself getting kind of like, I'm like, I don't care. I'm not there. I don't care.
Oh yeah, I'm on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter.
Yeah, I don't care. Do whatever. I don't care.
Right. Okay, right. I'm going to start the recording, so let's get a Kraken on. The Kraken.
It's 172, correct?
Correct.
I named it Let's Go.
Let's go.
Okay. I don't suspect we'll have many people in chat. Thank you, Nana.
I don't think so. It's a Tuesday, and it's currently
For us, it was a Tuesday.
It literally is.
But we're still gonna have fun, and hopefully this will get some Twitter and I said Twitter. I meant YouTube and Twitch traction.
Fingers crossed.
And also listen to us on Spotify or whatever your podcasty is, because we could definitely use the listens after last week.
Yes we can. But anyway, I'll count you in. Yes. So 3, 2.
Welcome to Rapid Reviews episode 172. I am your co-host, Kiley Wilde, and I'm joined by my ever-present co-host, Pete Beckett.
Hello, it's Rapid Reviews Radio, by the way.
Did I not say that? I said it last week.
No, you didn't. Yeah, you did. And then the week before you didn't. So it's now becoming another one to the bingo. Will she ever say the podcast name again?
Who knows? Who knows what comes out of my mouth? Don't say a thing. So I'm sitting here with a new haircut. Which you could see.
Honestly, I still can't say I noticed, but we just started chatting away and all that. So
it's that same haircut with what's her face, Spider-Gwen has.
Yes.
But
the old short back and sides.
Yes, exactly. Except my wonderful shout out to my stylist Sheena. She's amazing. She had to keep the what is this right side long. It's shaved underneath, but because I went on a crazy bleaching experiment, I ended up with polka dots underneath. intentional. Although she did say, Kylie, it does kind of look intentional, which is kind of cool. I was like, sweet. But just to keep a little bit of a professional edge, she decided to hide it for me. She's wonderful. I love her.
That's probably a good thing, I guess.
Yes.
Nobody ever wants to be the polka dot man or woman.
And I think she said, it looks like you have given an homage to Dalmatians. And I was like, yes. So, yes. Anyway, haircuts aside, yeah. It's been a crazy day for me. So, but I'm gonna ask Pete because I'm nice. I'm gonna ask Pete how his week's been. Pete, how's your week been?
It's been okay. I mean, last week I only worked 3 days because I'd worked the weekend before, so
Lucky.
had some time off. We didn't do a show on Sunday because I was supposed to be doing guest spot on another podcast. Unfortunately, the person had to pull out at last minute, which was very unfortunate. Yeah, don't.
I'm 12.
So yeah, so that was a bit of a shame, but we didn't have enough of a show to put together at the time and such last minute. So yeah,
Yeah.
feel better, Reza.
It's true.
Yeah, other than that, I was just like, yeah, pretty bog standard week.
That's good.
Although today was a bit difficult because
why was today difficult?
it was Rachel's granddad's funeral.
Right. Yes. Which I was very sorry to hear that, and that is, of course, why we didn't do an episode yesterday. Yeah. So I hope she's doing well.
Yeah, the family are all doing okay, but obviously there's weirdness when it comes to families, and it can make things awkward. It's not, no, it's not my loss, but it's my partner's. So yeah. But I was there to support her, of course.
Which is how it should be.
Yeah, it just feels weird taking a day off in the middle of the week, though.
Yeah, I definitely think so. But yes. So
yeah, it's been a nice time, I guess. Or everyone's sitting in a pub afterwards, just having a few drinks and just chatting. It's quite nice.
That's my favorite thing. I miss having friends because of that, and I shouldn't say that because I do have friends, and they're gonna get offended when I say stuff like that.
You have friends.
I do have friends. Including Pete, of course.
What are you talking about? We're just colleagues.
Yes, we're just workmates.
That talk far too frequently.
Yes. But
yeah, how's your week been?
So my week, okay, we're gonna talk about my week, and the reason why we're gonna talk about my week is because I want to highlight something that happened to one of my. Okay, let's get thoughts in control, Kylie. Thoughts in order. Autistic ADD brain going crazy in there. So I have a friend that I'm pretty sure listens occasionally, so I'm not going to name drop him. But he did something today that really got me good. So one of my things, and I am not ashamed to tell what my weaknesses are and all that kind of stuff. Because people are like, don't tell your weaknesses because people can use them against you. And I'm like, if you use my weakness against me, then I don't want you in my life. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't have a problem just saying, oh, here's my weakness. But my weakness is being left out. Like, that's my trigger or whatever. Being Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer left out of all the reindeer games. That's my thing. And so at CrossFit, oops, I just probably said who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing this really cool thing that I want to participate in, but if I'm honest, I'm not physically capable yet. I've got the autoimmune thing, I've got atrophied muscles. I can't move the way other people move. There are limitations. And they're not limitations like if you're a beginner and you walk off the street and you join CrossFit, you've got limitations because you've not done it before. These are different. These are like mobility limitations and stuff like that. So I've been kind of like wistfully looking at this thing that's gonna happen at the weekend, going, "Oh, I wish I could be there. I wish I could be there." There's just no there's no reason I would be there.
Mm-hmm.
Then this person, who I know is probably listening this week, um, messaged me and said, "Hey, Kiley, how would you like to film us this weekend? So you can be there, so I get to be there with everybody, even though I'm not actually doing the actual workouts." And that got me. That got me good. Stupid dumb dork. It got
Fair
me
enough.
good.
No, look, I can understand why. It's a feel good moment.
It is. It's nice. And okay, this is kind of a we got this moment, and then we'll move on. But
Funnily enough, in the chat, Nana,
oh.
is this another impromptu we got this?
Yes,
Yes,
Nana,
yes, it is.
Because here's the thing. Okay, so a lot of us out there feel like we are overlooked or left out or ignored, that kind of thing. We just are. We're a little bit odd, so we're kind of on the peripheral for whatever reason.
What are you talking about? I'm not odd.
Yeah.
I'm weird.
Actually, one of my band directors that was real close to me, he would say, "Kylie's not strange, she's just weird." Or he would go, "Kylie's weird, but in a strange way." So both of those.
That goes to my saying of everybody's weird in their own weird ways.
Exactly. That right there is the key to everything I'm saying. So if you're a person who is, let's say, part of a social group, and there's someone who's a bit of an outsider, but they want to join in, just invite them in. They don't have to do the thing. Me just filming is not a big deal. It's that's everything to me. I was just my heart grew 3 sizes too big, or whatever the saying goes. Everything. It touched me so deeply, which I can't say too much because my friend and I have this weird relationship where it's ew, and no feelings,
Yeah.
gross.
I know, it's fine.
Yeah, but that did really get me. So if you're out there, if you're someone who can ask someone else to join in and to come into your group or whatever, do it. Because sometimes just being invited. Yeah. Not that they'll say yes, but just being invited will make their day. Just make their day. So that is amazing. I feel like I have
Unless it's asking if they want to join them for a threesome.
Yeah, maybe not that unless you're into it.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help but thinking that the entire time.
Oh gosh, I try not to judge, but
this is where you find out that on Saturday they're asking you to film an amateur porno.
Look, I don't yuck people's yum, but that ain't for me.
Look, all you need is a tripod, and that's it.
I mean, in so many ways, Pete. In so many ways.
Don't make me mention the Austin Powers joke.
Oh gosh, I don't actually. I've just ran through it, and I don't know. What?
Where Vern Troyer's.
Oh yes, that's it. Yes. Yep.
Oh my god. Oh, you're a tripod.
Yes. Okay. But I felt like I had one more thing to add to that. I'm sure it will eventually make its way into the podcast. But anyway, just shout out to my friend. That was very kind. It did touch my heart. And no, you're not going to hear about it. And no, I'm not going to hug you. So this is usually how I talk to him. So
okay, cool, awesome. So how you talk to me as well, then?
Exactly. This is how I talk to my friends. And for those who cannot see this, our lovely beloved listeners who don't have a champion any longer, I am flipping Pete and the camera off. But we're gonna move quickly on because we actually have a lot of ground to cover about 2 subjects that Pete and I are very passionate about. I think they're gonna be good discussions. What I want to say before we go into that is that if you're a listener or a watcher, please feel free to interact, either by leaving messages on the Rapid Reviews Twitter, which Pete mans, so he will see your comments and questions.
Sorry, what a Twitter?
Yeah, exactly. I guess it's, what is it, X?
Go on, give it to you.
But, yes. And then or you can do. There's some kind of weird Spotify thing that we're experimenting with. There's like an interacty thing.
Yeah, there's a Q&A
Yeah.
and sometimes polls. So I'm going to try and put a poll up based on
Pete's
episode
put
subject.
a poll up. Anyway.
Straight up the North Pole.
But I do want to go into this because it is like two very important subjects we need to talk about. Although mine's kind of like two, so it's kind of like three in a way.
Kind of, yeah.
But Pete, would you like to introduce our news topics today?
Yes, I shall. They're not exactly news topics. They're just things that really got to us, I think.
Yeah. Grinds my gears.
You, America. Fuck you. No, not really. I love you, America.
American.
Well, most of our audience are Americans, so I can't disparage them like that.
Oh goodness.
Okay,
but yes.
So this is a you story, but this is an infuriated me story.
Yes, it has aspects, yes. And I will say, just because in case he watches later, this was discussed on Mag's stream as well.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. And so we're not copying, but we're in addition to. Put it that way.
We're a supplement.
Supplement, yeah. There you go.
we're like the vitamin D DLC.
We could all use a little vitamin D. Anyway, Pete, please go on.
I do not personally, but each their own. Anyway, so do you remember a couple of weeks ago when I think we were covering news and we discussed the potential of a remaster or remake of Red Dead Redemption?
Yes, I do.
Well, it seems the rumors were rumors. They weren't true.
Yes, unfortunately.
But I will read the story as posted by VGC.
Yes.
Red Dead Redemption will be coming to Switch and PS4 next week. It's been revealed.
Yeah.
A new trailer posted on Rockstar website says the port, no remake, no remake, nope. It's a port, will be released on August 17th. It will cost $50. And will also include the Undead Nightmares DLC. A physical edition will be released on October 13th. I could see you reading the chat.
Confused, but yes.
Is that a cyberpunk reference?
I don't know.
Oh, no. I think I know what he means. You talked about vitamin D?
I did. Oh!
There you go. There you go. You finally seen Kiley's brain kick into action. Well done.
Live on screen as it happened.
Yeah. Don't apologise, Nana. It worked. It had her confused for a second.
Oh, that's easy to do, though. But anyway.
So, quote, experience the epic Western adventure at Red Dead Redemption, its groundbreaking zombie horror companion Undead Nightmare, as both games come to the Switch and PS4 for the very first time in a single package. That's what she said. A statement from Rockstar reads, in a new conversion by Double 11 Studios, the Switch and PS4 versions bring the two classic experiences together again for both new players and original fans to enjoy across modern consoles, including backwards compatibility with the PS5. So this is the thing that confused a fair few people, so I'll just read this out, because you may have noticed a couple of platforms missing.
Yup.
Notably, the PC version.
Yes.
And an Xbox version.
Yeah, which of course is what I noticed.
What are we dealing with? Square Enix here? No, I can't make that joke anymore because they just made that deal with Xbox.
They did.
Damn.
Yeah.
Anyway, the game is already available on current Xbox systems due to the availability of the 360 version on the Xbox Store. Both the Xbox One and the Series X and S generations of consoles can play the 360 version via backwards compatibility. So this is just going over obviously what we spoke about before. It says rumours around a re-release of Red Dead Redemption circulated last month when the game was classified by the South Korean Games Rating and Administration Committee, which has a history of revealing upcoming titles prior to their official announcement. We also didn't talk about the fact that they got themselves into some very hot water.
I mean, I know
the South Koreans Ratings and Admission Committee.
They did in the past. Did they do it again?
Quite recently again for allegations of bribery and stuff like.
Oh goodness. Oh
I'm
dear.
gonna pull the story up again at some point. I think we need to talk
Oh
about it.
goodness.
Anyway, a Rockstar insider who had previously leaked accurate information about the company's games, claimed that last year that remasters GTA 4 and Red Dead Redemption were once planned, but had since been scrapped.
Now.
So, let's get into the meat of this.
Yes.
So, where do I start with this one?
Yeah.
Where do I start? So first and foremost, let's not beat around the bush here. It is great to some degree that the Switch is getting a Red Dead game.
Right.
Fantastic.
We'll be positive. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I'm starting with the positive side. It's great that they're doing something. They're putting it out available on the Switch, and the PS4.
PS4.
Yeah,
Okay.
the PS4 of all things. Like, why not?
It's weird.
I think this plays into the point of what might have angered a fair few people about this.
First
of all, the price point.
Right. That's
$50 is a lot of money for a port.
Yes. Not a remake, my friends.
Or a remaster.
Or a remaster. A port. So straight over, pulled over from, it's original. It's,
I guarantee that if you were to have a look at the source code of that game, I guarantee they've barely changed anything with it. Except for button prompts. That's all.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I know that ports take quite a fair bit of time to do, and they're not always great.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is that this game is revered, and this is now just take a steaming pile of horse crap all over it.
Now, this is what I was going to say in Mags' stream, and I didn't. I stopped myself because it's super nerdy, and only Pete will understand it. Do you
Probably best you did then.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes I say stuff over there, and they just kind of pause. Because I don't know what it is. Like, what? Okay. But anyway.
I'm very unfamiliar with the audience.
Yeah. But, Pete, do you think, honestly, is this because Dan Houser left?
Yes, I do. I think the company is completely directionless at the moment.
Yep. I agree.
Now, for me, one of the main issues that comes out of this is that, first of all, the price point, like I said. Second of all, is obviously the fact that it's just a mere port.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't. I'm conflicted about this one because I saw a video the other day on a channel that showed some screenshots of it, because some more screenshots have come out and they do look a little bit nicer. Right. But you would sort of come to expect that from something that's the next generation on from the PS3 and the Xbox 360.
You'd hope so. A little bit of artifact cleaning.
Yeah, so there's less artifacting and stuff like that. But the fact of the matter is you're charging $50 for a game that is probably that I can prove is less money.
I was gonna say
elsewhere, because I walked into CEX the other day, Kex or Sex, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I call it CEX, but
yeah, I'm always CEX because I hear it every way and it's.
But terrible. I heard their commercial recently.
So did I, and it says Sex.
It does. I'm like, nope, I'm not calling it that. Sorry, but yes.
I am not either. I walked into one in my local area. I managed to find the 360 version of Red Dead Redemption and Undead Nightmare for £25. I didn't buy that version.
Yeah.
I'm stupid and didn't buy that version. No. Because I spent £2 more. On a brand new copy. Sealed. £27.
Yeah. And which
Series X.
That makes
backwards compatible with a 4K patch and frame rate improvement. So the game's gonna run like arse, let's be honest, on the PS4 and the Switch, because it's going to be 30 frames like the original game was.
Yeah, which will be fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and play it in all its glory in 60 crisp 60 frames with an enhancement patch. It just feels to me like it is the laziest decision of all time from Take-Two and Rockstar, considering that it came out not too long after the fact that an old interview with Strauss Zelnick, was it? The leader of Take-Two?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Where he said, if we
Wanted
are
to say that.
re-releasing games, we don't want to just do mere ports.
Yes.
We want to do enhanced, upgraded versions.
I remember when he said that.
What is this then, Strauss?
Well, I mean, and
Is this
not only
port?
that, but I mean the absolute disaster that was San Andreas.
Oh, the GTA trilogy.
GTA trilogy, yeah.
Yeah, that was also a port because it was the port of the mobile versions.
Yeah, which is like what? Oh,
The
so
worst
terrible.
versions of the game as well. I mean, come on, even the PS2 versions were better than that.
I just don't. I don't know.
Christ almighty. So I'm in total agreement with you because you also have to look at one particular thing as well, like you said with Dan Houser.
Yeah, I think
Look at their input since 2010 when Red Dead Redemption came out.
Mm-hmm. Well,
What's come out since then?
That's the thing. I also want to quick say hi to Mike Tindo, friend of the show. Hi, Mike Tindo.
Thank you.
But see, that's the thing. I mean, I said way back, even when we very first started this podcast, which feels like forever and also yesterday.
Yes.
It always blew my mind and still does to this day that Red Dead Redemption 2 never got DLC. Like, Sadie should have got a whole story to herself because she was too cool.
But she probably was one of the best characters in that game because I obviously, like I said, I did go back and refinish it.
Oh yeah, like I just love that game. Anyway, but there was so much potential there, and then they totally then Dan Houser left, and then they totally messed up the online version, which is crazy because if you know anything, GTA 5 online is huge.
What she said.
But it is. It's like, I mean, like I watch the RPs even, which is
they
crazy.
are so funny.
I love them so much.
Did you see a clip that was circulating the other day of an RP of a routine traffic stop?
No, but that's the stuff I love.
I just saw it randomly. It was one of the stupidest things I think I've ever seen. Is a guy is role playing as a cop, so he does a routine traffic stop. Out comes a baby.
See.
And it starts shooting her. It was the weirdest thing.
I love RPs. I really do. That's the best thing to come out of GTA 5 online.
Yeah.
But the point
is... they completely butchered Red Dead Online, didn't they?
Absolutely. Ruined their potential. And I don't understand it. Like, I said this before. When you only focus on money, on cash grabs, you lose out on so much on the long term. Because they're only focusing on the short term. And that seems to be what Take-Two, Rockstar, all of that. They're just like tunnel vision, short term, what can we make? That's not what you need to do. You make AAA, expansive, epic games. Because let's be honest, this is where RDR2 and GTA 5 are. They're epics, you know?
Well, there you go. Like that answers my question. Since Red Dead Redemption came out and Undead Nightmares, what's been their output? Yeah. RDR2 and GTA 5.
That's literally it. That is it.
Whereas you look at the early 2000s, GTA 3, year later, Vice City, San Andreas, year later, Bully, Manhunt 2. How could they get all of these? I know that there was a serious crunch problem, obviously. And we don't appreciate, obviously, crunch, but sometimes it has to be done. But they had more projects on the horizon, and there was a lot more creativity.
And they just
because you look at it, like GTA 3 has a full, complete story, and then a year later, a full, complete story for Vice City.
And it was so good.
And a year later after that, a full and complete story with incredible voice acting for San Andreas, a game that I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
particularly like,
I
but you
didn't
know,
like it the game, but I can appreciate that voice acting. It's a long list of
I mean,
actual stars at the time.
yes, including Samuel L. Jackson,
Yup. Yup.
just to say one, that's all.
Yeah. But
But
there's
yeah,
a lot of them in there.
but my God, even Vice City had
Oh,
a
Vice.
smorgasbord.
That's my game. Oh, that's my first.
Funnily enough, there was
First
a
Vice City.
topic
Are you
that was
first?
going to come up on the other podcast I was going to cover, which was the turn-based cynics.
Uh huh.
It was going to be games that everyone loves that have aged badly.
Vice City hasn't aged badly. I mean, it's a bunch of cubics, running around. Uh,
Have you gone back and tried to play them recently?
no, I love.
Oh boy!
See,
Trust me, I love the GTA trilogy to some degree.
yes.
They have aged like bad warm milk.
Oh gosh. Well,
The stories are still fantastic, but the mission structure is appalling.
my
It's the same Rockstar mission structure
I
that has
love
been
that.
prevalent from the very beginning.
I like the Rockstar mission thing. People don't
I
like it.
just want to I just want a bit of variation. I want a bit of freedom to
Well,
complete a mission how I would like to complete it.
yeah, that's not. I mean, I can see that. I can see that. That's not
Like
wrong.
you look at RDR2, right? A massive, expansive open world that was huge, but yet you have to stick to a linear line to complete a mission.
Yes, you do.
But
You're
yet
correct.
but yet a couple of years before that, and a game that wasn't as well regarded or well revered in Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain,
Yes. Oh
a
gosh.
stealth action game that allowed you to complete missions as you pleased. Do
Yeah.
it guns blazing, stealth,
Yeah.
hidden, the whole
I do
thing.
like
You could
that.
do it however you like, and that was great design. It's just the game
Yeah.
kind of sucked.
I know, because it also had a terrible storyline.
That's what sucked about it. The story was awful,
Oh, it was awful.
awful.
But I do like it. I mean, RDR2 eventually did it, but where you can choose. Well, GTA 5 did it too. You can choose the stealth option or the spray and pray, which is my favorite option.
That was only with the heist though, and I
Yes,
mean
that's
across the
correct.
board. Like, so if GTA 6 does actually include that, that would be a nice upgrade to have. But be honest, I don't see it happening. It's the tried and I think they're down to the tried and true formula. I
Yeah,
also have a theory about these ports now.
sure.
They're only there to supplement the ever increasing budget of GTA 6's development.
Holy crap on that. Also, hi Central. Woo.
Howdy, Sancho.
Yeah. That. Let's be honest here. That is insane. GTA 6, like, I get development time, but there's a time where it goes from development time to development hell.
And
And
I think it's close to development hell.
I think so. I think we're in like Duke Nukem 4 territory or something.
Oh, Duke Nukem Forever.
Or forever, thank you. Because this is insane. And then that bit that was leaked last year.
Yeah, that everyone said would look horrendous, but it was clearly pre-alpha footage.
It really was. But it's like, have we progressed on from that? Usually leaks happen and then a game is released not long after. No.
Yeah, but what? Yeah, and that was always one of the things that you'd always said as well, is that Rockstar were not a leaking ship.
Right.
They were always very tight with their
Very.
security.
Yeah.
So
And
it was only for the fact that like a couple of leaks across RDR2 happened.
mm-hmm.
That's why we knew about its existence. And I remember that. And I remember when the map leaked. And people were like, this can't be real. And it turned out to be real.
I still say, guys, I've said this so many times. Rockstar did so amazing with RDR2. They teased it since it put the teaser trailer out 6 months before release.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot beat that because it was like they had that game was done.
Yeah, I mean, you look at oh, it was the polish that they were just going for at that point. Like,
and so no broken promises, no anything. It was like
yeah.
6 months, bam. You
You
did.
notice they did that with GTA 5 as well.
Yeah, exactly. And
And guess who copied that MO?
who's that?
Bethesda with
Oh,
Fallout.
tee. Although they totally messed that up. But yes.
They did, but you remember,
Yeah,
obviously,
I
when
do.
Fallout 4 came out, we had all those leaks. We had the script leak, we had the
Yeah.
storyline leak, we had all of
Oh,
that. And then, like, they stayed dead quiet. And then 6 months before, massive trailer, gameplay footage,
yep.
going through all the systems. And then it was out.
So I will say this, and then we'll say this, and then we'll move on.
Yeah.
But when Fallout 4 was still just a rumor, like 2 years before it even dropped, I was on those Reddit forums scanning for anything. It's just just
So was I.
give me
Even
all
though I
that.
wasn't a Fallout fan, I was like, I need to
Oh,
know. I need to know.
so 2 years before it dropped, this supposed insider, who it turns out actually was an insider, was like, "Oh, it's gonna be set in Boston, and it's gonna be centered around MIT." And people were like, "No, that can't be true. No, this, no, that, or whatever." And he just started dropping and leaking stuff. Like, I don't know why he did it.
I don't know, but I remember that script coming out, and that
It was
seemed
huge.
so legit at the time as well.
It was, and turns out he was right. But nobody believed him at all because they were like, "Oh, you can't verify this. It's just a temporary throwaway account." And they're like, he's like, "No, I'm telling you, I traveled with the Bethesda team to take pictures of Boston to make the
Yeah,
game." And everybody's like, "Nah, it won't be Boston. Why would it set in Boston?" Blah blah blah. And then it
and that's the thing about
did.
leaks, though, isn't it? Is that when you post them onto like NeoGAF or 4chan
Mm,
or places wherever they post them, they
really?
need to actually be verified before they go
Yeah,
up.
exactly. Most people won't
So
let them go up without verification.
no, so that's where their due
Due
diligence comes in,
diligence.
which is great, but it's
Yeah.
just
Love me some
you
due
still have
diligence.
that air of caution about people who are just like, I don't want to believe it because it's not official. It's like
Yeah.
you should have healthy
Mm-hmm.
skepticism, of course, but
You
I mean,
should.
look at this. Look at Red Dead Redemption. There was healthy skepticism about the rumors of that, and
Yeah.
I turned around and I said I don't believe them.
You did. You did say that. And I was more like, I just want it to be a remaster so bad. And
I'm glad I didn't believe them
yeah,
because
Pete
look
didn't.
what we got.
Exactly. Although I wish they would remaster it. And yes, I think it's because of the departure of Dan Houser that the
You
quality
can
just.
play a remastered version.
Where can I play a remastered version, Pete?
The Xbox Series X or S.
Yeah.
And you buy the 360 version.
Yup. We talked about this also.
It's
Offline.
available on the Xbox store right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't even need to wait until until August 17th.
That's true. You can probably go to Game or GameStop if you're in America and just pick up
Not game, probably not, because I think they got rid of most of their 360 games.
probably. I remember
Yes.
last time I went to a game, there was a big like wire bin and it was full of 360 games.
How many did you buy for £1?
I bought quite a few. Thank you very much. I think that's where I got my
I would
rare
have
replay.
Nice. I
Yeah,
would have done the same thing too.
yeah. Cause
So that's
cause
awesome.
even if I don't put them on my 360, I still collect them. So.
Mm. My copy is due to come on the 18th, so I do have to
Ooh.
wait until after the 17th, but I don't
Oh.
care. I've
So.
not played Red Dead Redemption, the
Oh,
first
it's
one, so
so fun. It
I've
is.
watched it. I've watched the movie of it.
Yeah. Well,
So I know
I
what I'm in
enjoyed it.
for, but Undead Nightmares apparently is very
It's
good.
okay. I'm gonna be honest. Undead Nightmare came out when I hated zombies because zombies were freaking ever almost cussed. Were freaking in every form of media. Like even the Marvel zombies had just happened. I think. Um.
Oh god, yeah, that run of comic,
Yeah,
Jesus.
which was kind of like the pinnacle for me. It was like, okay, I mean, seeing Wolverine as a zombie was cool, but I'm kind of and Deadpool, I'm kind of over it now. And then
Mm,
Undead Nightmare came out around that time. So there was a lot of zombie stuff out. So
yeah.
I only played like 2 minutes of it. No, I probably played 10 minutes of it. And I was just
Okay.
it's everyone swears by it, says it's a great game. I was just zombied out by that time. I'm better now, but back then it was just there was just too much zombie stuff.
Yeah. No worry.
But yeah, it's such a good
Alright.
game though. It is.
But anyway, let's hard stop on this one and
Yeah,
move
we
to
gotta
the
move
next.
on.
because, oh, did this go down a storm?
Yeah. You want to set this up, Pete, and how you sent me a link?
I honestly don't know how to set this. So I guess I will just read the tweet that came from
Yeah, do that because
esteemed esteemed previous guest
Yes.
Sophia Narwitz,
Yep,
who
controversial
is
guest, but
the most controversial takers on X or Twitter.
yep.
It said the tweet said, "Ignore everything else in this op-ed and answer me why people who, by their own admission, didn't play games are getting gigs at publications dedicated to gaming. So much gaming coverage would improve overnight if various publications actually hired people with a deep history of gaming."
Whew.
And this is in relation to Baldur's Gate 3.
There are 2 articles referenced in that tweet that we are going to talk about.
There are. So the first article, which is being mentioned, is we bought a third into our marriage, and it's Asteron.
I hate
Rion,
that title.
yeah.
I've only said it in my brain, so you're right, Pete. I don't actually know how to pronounce it. I hate that title. We will get into
Yeah.
that.
So I'm not going to call the author of the article
Why not?
out by name.
Oh, because you don't want to give her clicks? I can go for that.
First of all, don't want to give her clicks. Also, we know what people on Twitter are like with doxing and all that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, don't be dicks.
I honestly don't think that's particularly very fair. The articles will be linked, so you'll be able to find it yourself anyway. I'm just not saying it on a stream or an audio version.
Yeah, because these are our op-eds on op-eds, if that makes sense.
However, you can probably guess. So this comes from Polygon, the greatest of greatest takes of all time, coming from, quote unquote, in the top of the article, the managing editor of Polygon.
Folks.
Okay, so let me proceed with reading some of the article.
Before we do this, Pete, let's go ahead. We want to be fair and balanced.
Sure.
Polygon is not just a video game publication. They are
That
a
is
pop
correct.
culture publication. But come on, let's be honest. They are known for their video game articles.
Yes. Anyway, so the Monday after Baldur's Gate 3 came out, I signed on to work, prepared to eat crow. What a crap! I'm actually reading this for the first time, by the way.
Are you really, Pete? Oh my gosh, I've read it 3 times, and every time I've got more angry.
Yeah, I sent this to you to endure torture.
He did.
So, a week prior, I had confidently told a co-worker there was absolutely no way I'd be playing the RPG. Now, I had to swallow my pride and admit I was wrong. 2 things happened in the interim, 7 days that caused the 180. First, I saw that you could throw children so hard they splatter blood. Second, I realised I didn't have to play the game alone. Okay. My husband plays a lot of games, but before I started working at Polygon 2 years ago, I had barely touched one in over a decade. An exception to this being when my husband let me drive the Batmobile in Arkham Knight, and I screamed the entire time because it was going too fast for me to control. My reflexes and dexterity are simply too S-word to play most games. Okay, I'm going to go back to this in a minute. I'll just finish this paragraph. However, the turn-based nature of Baldur's Gate 3 meant it's easy for me and my husband and me to play together without me having to touch the gamepad outside the occasional dice roll. As it turns out, Baldur's Gate 3 is the perfect couples game.
Oh, I have so much to say, Pete. I'm going to die.
Okay, can I just raise my only point on this one? Because I know you're going to cover the other.
Yes.
When did it become such a thing in gaming publications meant for all ages that swearing should be the norm?
That is a recent thing, and it
I know it is, and it really infuriates me. It just shows that you have no comprehension of the English language to be able to use a word that's not a profanity.
I like personality journalism, as it's called. I enjoy it. I think
to some degree, yes.
Yeah, I think it has its place. I am not sure that a For Everyone's Eyes op-ed on a very well-known high trafficked website is the place for it.
No, it is really not.
I am actually quite annoyed at that, but I'm so annoyed at so much on this, Pete. But anyway, say what you need to say because I
That was it.
Okay.
Go.
Okay.
Just run away. Hang on.
So I have so freaking much to say about this. First of all, this person has, I feel, almost bought into the stereotype of women don't play games and women aren't gamers and this kind of thing. And I feel like it's almost set us back quite a bit. And that's ignoring the fact that this person is the managing editor of Polygon and doesn't play games. I realize that Polygon, yes, as I said at the top of the story, Polygon is not a strictly video game publication, but it is well known as being one. And to find out that the managing editor doesn't play games and is writing an op-ed and getting paid for it
about games
on video games. The fact, okay, so one thing you will hear me say very, very, very often, and this is my bias, I'm sorry, I do feel, if it can't be helped, I understand. I think gamers need to marry or be with gamers. I think that is gaming, and I'm talking about gamers.
Right, that's it. I'm calling off my wedding.
Now, see, this is where it changes a bit, because you do have to be accommodating. Rachel, like, she knows you're a gamer. Like, she's fully aware, and she has tried.
I mean, for Christ's sake.
Exactly. And
never gonna get away with the fact, am I?
Exactly. Like,
oh no, disguise, but 100.
Like, so she tries, she's tried, like we've mentioned before, Untitled Goose Game, but the point is she understands that position.
Mm-hmm.
So on one hand, I want to say the positive thing is that this lady is trying to connect with her husband, you think, through gaming. Hope. I think that's a wonderful thing until you read the article and you find out some really disturbing things, as Pete read. I'm going to read just this little bit.
The throwing of children?
That's
weird.
She literally says, like, the two things she's looking forward to is the possibility that you could throw children so hard they splatter blood. Okay, that's disturbing. Like, that's disturbing. Let's not lie. That's disturbing. It's funny when Krusty does it, but he does it with a comedic twist.
Yes. There is such a thing as dark humor.
Yes,
and exactly. I like dark humor.
Dark humor, gallows humor, I'm on board. Oh my god.
But that's a bit weird.
Yeah. The way it's phrased is weird. It's weird. Okay. Second, I realized I didn't have to play the game alone. Okay, so let's talk about Baldur's Gate 3. I have been watching...
Let's shall, because it sounds really cool.
It's very cool. It is... Okay, if you know anything about Baldur's Gate, of course you do. It's a D&D based game, so there's like dice rolling and chances and all this kind of stuff. So if you're familiar with D&D, you're going to be familiar with the game mechanics. I am familiar with D&D Light, not the heavy duty stuff. It's really cool, but it's a little bit too much. Yes, Mike says, that's not dark humor, that's just dark. Exactly. We've kind of crossed a line there. And I'm like, oh,
That's what I mean. As someone who has a penchant for dark humor, that is not dark. That's just worrying.
That is terrifying. And yeah.
I mean, in the past, if someone had said that, you might have called them a serial killer.
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends if you know the person has a dark, twisted side. As I said, I am Krusty. His videos, he's entitled videos about how to kill kids in Skyrim, but it's done in a comedic way, and he doesn't actually kill any kids. He just throws them off the mountain, and then they magically reappear, because you can't kill kids in Skyrim.
And I think Nana raises a good point in the chat, actually, so I'll just read this. He says, I mean, if something like Danganronpa did it, I'd understand. That game is all kinds of crazy. That it is.
Well, okay.
That is insane, that game.
Yes, it is.
Well, series of games.
That's why I want to talk about Baldur's Gate 3. So Baldur's Gate 3, I've been watching a lot of Let's Plays on. I want to play it, but I really enjoy the Let's Plays because I enjoy listening to D&D podcasts and watching
Yep.
D&D streams. Of course, Critical Role being the absolute most famous, well-known one.
Also the most overhyped.
It's a bit overhyped. I'm kind of off of it now, but that's your starter point if you want
Yeah,
to do.
of course, yeah.
But and then my Bim Bam puts one out, and I've actually blanked on what it's called, and it's really good. Or it used to be good.
Oh,
It's not good now.
oh, okay. I was going to say like the rest of their content then.
Exactly. It just went, but that's not the point. The point. Oh gosh. Oh, Mario has been killing kids in 64 days.
Penguins.
Baby penguins. Yes, but you didn't see their blood crash upon the rocks.
You never. Once they left the mountain, you never saw them again.
See, there you go. It's so funny to watch people do that. But anyway, I've been watching Let's Plays. Baldur's Gate 3 is to me, it's just my opinion, guys. Everyone else has different opinions. It's fine. It's a really good game. It's really good. They did an amazing job.
Absolutely no interest in it beforehand.
Okay.
But I'm so much more interested now that I've read some reviews and that. I'm like, this sounds so brilliant.
It's really good. It's as for our listeners, it's as if you took Diablo and combined it with Dragon Age, which is a really nice balance for an RPG. And then of course it's got its D&D,
well, I like D&D, so there you go.
Yeah, exactly, Pete. Duh, of course. So you'd be totally on board, and it's full frontal nudity. Hey, but
I mean, you can have sex with a bear in it, so.
Well, okay, so that is also mentioned in the article. When she says, "Second, I realized I didn't have to play the game alone. Your first thought as a gamer obviously is, oh, multiplayer, and there is kind of a form of multiplayer in this."
Look, I've done games where you've done a pass play on a single player. Like, it's fine. It works quite well.
Yeah, because that's not what she meant. She meant...
Oh, I know what she meant.
She meant my husband plays it, and I follow along. Central says, hot take, D&D is absolute trash role-playing system. Good for games, though. He's not wrong. There's a whole bunch of better tabletop role-playing games. As Pete will...
Oh, God, what was it? Jesus Christ, what was it called? Dungeon Crawl Classic is a better one than that.
Yeah.
It's essentially took what was great about second and third editions and basically took out everything that was crap about fifth.
Yeah. There's just some really cool... Yeah, you're not wrong.
I know, because I owned Dungeon Crawl Classic. It was amazing.
And then there's Monsters something. I can't remember. That one's good.
Even to a certain degree, Pathfinder is a hell of a lot better than D&D.
Pathfinder's very good. And then, of course, Vampire the Masquerade, which is where I cut my teeth.
Well, Vampire the Masquerade is a very, very different system to D&D, but
yes,
I know, and I really like that game. Don't get me wrong, because it was amazing when I played a campaign in it. But out of the vast majority of systems that I have played when it comes to tabletop role-playing games, I'd say that one of the better ones, it's very flexible, is Savage Worlds. If nobody's tried that, give it a try.
Yeah. Well, so having said all of that, that's the basis for Baldur's Gate 3. For anyone who doesn't know, for our listeners and our watchers, that kind of sets our base. In this article, this person goes on to describe what it's like. I'm just gonna lay it out there. Describe what it's like to be a non-gamer married to a gamer.
Okay. I think I might have some bits here, so if you want me to read.
Yeah, but just I'm gonna say this because I never want to go full negative, even though I'm very angry over this article.
Don't do what Robert Downey Jr. says in Tropic Thunder.
Oh gosh, no, I won't go full angry.
I'm glad you substituted the word there.
Of course I did. But what I'm saying is, let's give credit where credit's due. She is trying, maybe trying is too strong of a word. She's
attempting
to enjoy
badly
gaming with her husband, who clearly in this article loves gaming alone and not with her. But but that is a whole different story. But yes, Pete, do you want to highlight some of these
Okay.
points?
So, reading another paragraph, it says our clashing interests and playstyles have turned out to work in a surprising harmony. I'm not a big fan of open world games. Well, you're not a big fan of games anyway, but carry on.
Exactly.
Because I get easily overwhelmed by the breadth of options. No, you don't. But with my husband manning the controller, I mean,
That
what
makes
the
me so
hell is?
angry.
I mean, use of the masculine word manning. I mean, probably should have been
Just
handling.
play the effing game by yourself.
Yeah.
Ah!
The responsibility of figuring out our next move is lifted from my shoulders. Oh God.
Yeah.
I can
let's
weigh
just
in
set
on
us
which
back
fork in
with
the path
these.
to choose, and when I'm at a loss of what to do, he confidently charges forward without hesitation.
That makes me so.
Like a real man does.
Yeah. See. Let's just
And I can tell you
disregard.
that from
Just disregard all female gamers. Let's just. Oh, we're back in the 50s when the man
No,
takes control.
No, I am joking.
No, that's how I felt when reading it.
That is more a scathing indictment of the fact that we just recklessly rush in.
Well,
Yeah.
I also rush in. I am a spray and prayer. I am the one who takes charge and leads the charge.
Yeah. Okay.
But that whole thing, what? Oh gosh, I just looked at Cincho. What's Cincho saying? But that whole section right there, like, you've just set back. It's very difficult to be a female gamer. Not to get too political, but let's get a little bit political. It's very difficult to be a female gamer. It's difficult to be a female MMA trainer and also an MMA boxer. Or, I mean, difficult to be a female boxer. I know this because that's how I started. And you have to prove yourself twice as hard. You have to play better, play harder. If you're training in boxing or MMA, you have to train harder. You can't cry at all. You can't.
I mean that's also the case for men too.
I mean, well, this is what I'm saying.
Okay, cool.
You have to get rid. Oh yes, no. You have to get rid of anything that is perceived as weakness. Which, let's be honest, in both gaming and in the MMA world, femininity of any form is perceived as a weakness. Now, that's not fair to men, and that's not fair to women either, because men should be allowed to cry just as much, if not. I mean, well, like, I'm not a crier, but you know what I mean. What I'm saying.
I know what you're talking about. I don't cry.
So, being a female gamer, when you come across a guy that you met for the first time and you talk to him and you're like, oh, I game too, he expects you to say Animal Crossing. Yes, Legend of Zelda. Sorry, guys, but that is what they expect. Basically, anything that's on the Nintendo Switch, now that I think about it, and anything like Final Fantasy, those sorts of things. That's what they expect you to say. When you turn around and you say, oh, no, I'm into, Halo and Fallout and Skyrim, they're, like, very skeptical. Like, are you really? And you have to prove yourself.
It's like when you see people buying T-shirts from a certain store that are advertising, like, bands that you know they don't. It's like, oh, name a couple of songs that aren't Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Exactly. Oh,
I've just outed what shop that is.
Yep. Cincho says, I love crying. I'm not going to lie. Little break in here. Little fourth wall break. I love men that cry. I do. I'm sorry. They're just, oh. But anyway, he says, I always hear so you play Sims, right? Yeah. See, that Sims is another one. Nintendogs when it was out. Gosh. But anyway.
Shoot, I need to check on Rachel's dogs.
But that goes to show you, so here she is writing as the freaking managing editor of Polygon People, saying, hey, my Italian side's coming out. I am actually part Italian. So Scottish with one little tiny bit of Italian. But, so she is saying, I let my husband take the control. I let my husband do this. I let my husband do that. And it's like, guys, come on. We are fighting for just a voice here. And you're just like, and then as she continues on in this article, yes, you're free to read it. Obviously, it is open to the public. She becomes this weird sexual, like, she just keeps trying to make her husband have sex with everything, which that's fine if that's what they're into, but it's
I mean, that seems like fantasy fulfillment more than anything.
Really, well, it gets really crass, and I'm like, why? Like,
yeah,
don't
but
get me wrong, I don't judge crassness, of course. I think everyone should be allowed to be themselves. Don't yuck anyone's yum, as I've said.
I know, but this is also
really crass.
Yeah, but this is also the same industry that once put out an article a few years ago about how you can use the Joy-Con as a butt plug.
Exactly.
Which we commented at the time and named an episode called buttplug.io.
Yeah, because that's actually really innovative if you think about it.
Oh, God's sakes.
Look, I'm just going to say, I might have watched something back in the day about the Wii U. Might have, about the controller being... Look, that's 10 years ago. So, and it's always intrigued me a little bit. But...
Oh, yeah, I forgot you weren't around then, Nana.
Poor Nana, he's so young. But...
Oh, how to be so innocent.
Oh, gosh.
Don't go and look for that article. It is not a fun read.
What I will say is that please let a gamer guy please fall in love with me. We will have so much fun together. But that's not my point. My point is that this article sets us back, females, female identifying, sets us far back because it becomes stupid. It becomes vapid. What? What happened?
No, I think we're fine. I lost. Oh, there it is.
Okay.
I thought we lost the stream for a second.
Oh gosh, no. I hope not. But it becomes completely vapid as the article continues on, and it's just like you can almost feel through her writing, she doesn't realize it, that I'm ignoring chat right now, that her husband would much rather play by himself. What does it say? Cincho, I'm not reading that. There are thoughts.
Far too many.
Far too many. I need someone. Please, someone love me. But anyway.
Oh God.
So yeah. This article. First of all, that makes me angry about that article. And then of course there's the whole point that she's not a gamer and she's directing a gaming site. Yes, I know it's mostly pop culture, or it claims to also be pop culture. It's not. We know Polygon as a gaming magazine, online publication, you know. So to find that someone, what did she say? Something like, I haven't touched a gaming console in like 10 years before I got married or something like that.
She specifically states in the article about her save file for Kingdom Hearts going missing and never picked it back up again.
Like, I can't relate to that because I played Kingdom Hearts. I was still in high school. Nana, see, I'm really old.
Yeah, I remember when the first Kingdom Hearts came out. I still remember the release day for that.
I do, and I was in high school. And
it was alright. Well, we're the same age, so it makes sense.
Exactly. But see, Nana doesn't realize that because it's so old. But having said that, if I had lost my save file back then, I would have... Oh, yeah, because she says in the article... No, we need to read that, Pete. I'm sorry. We need to read that about
close
grinding.
the article.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, here it is. She says, this is what set me off. This set me off so bad, guys. You will never catch me grinding or repeating large swaths of a game unless I absolutely have to. And even then, there's no guarantee. In high school, I lost my Kingdom Hearts save file and just never played the game again. So when we had to redo the battle because he thoughtlessly defiled the wrong corpse, I got pissed, sure. But then I got to walk away while he redid the combat on his own. I know gaming is for everyone, and I don't want to gatekeep. Grinding, is part of the experience. I have
Mm-hmm.
often referenced when I bought Final Fantasy VII the first time round. I bought it from a pawn shop. I was missing disc 2 or 3. I can't remember. It's back too far back. It's where they go to the casino. So right before they go to the casino, which I think is disc...
You mean a gold saucer?
Yes. Thank you.
So that is on disc 2.
Is that disc 2? So I was missing
Yes.
disc 2. So all I had to do was grind. That's all I could do. And then by the time I did get a copy with disc 2, I was like way OP. It doesn't matter. We've talked before about grinding on Destiny, which I enjoy very much. I'm currently doing a game where I have to grind. It's just a mobile game, so it doesn't matter. Grinding, farming, all of that, that's part of being a gamer. And I'm trying not to gatekeep here, but how can you not enjoy, like, any aspect of that?
The grind is fun.
Yeah, it's like, oh no. Sincho's named the episode again.
I know.
But, so, all that aside, because we're going to move on to the next article that also...
I honestly do not want to cover this in major detail because, oh god.
Yeah, I'm a bit tired of it. The bottom line is this with me and Pete, both. And Pete, I'm speaking for you. You correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong. Go on.
Why are non-gamers allowed to speak on gaming type thing let me say, her voice as a white married woman in America, which is very privileged. That's privileged above so many other people. Why is she allowed to write an op-ed about gaming and she's not a gamer?
Every time I try to apply for a job in the games industry, I get jack.
I too.
Despite being a gamer.
Yeah. And then, of course, I'm also going to get jacked because I'm not married. And I'm not married to a gamer. And I'm not married to a gamer who has writing credentials for another thing. So I can't just be like, oh, this is my random vapid opinion about this game. You know what I mean? So, all that aside, the second half of that tweet that Pete sent me is not about gender. Instead, it's about complete stupidity that I cannot stand. The next article is called, I don't know what Baldur's Gate is, and at this point, I'm too afraid to ask, which is found on The Gamer.
I will start reading some of this if you want. I just don't want to cover it in major detail.
I only have really one thing to say, but you go ahead, Pete.
Okay, well, I'll cover the first bit anyway.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk, because we're running a bit.
I know.
Anyway, among my social circles, I was always that guy who played the video games that most people hadn't heard of. Considering the farthest these social circles ventured into gaming was FIFA, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt was a niche game for... That's not a niche game.
No, it's not.
It was during my first few days as bright-eyed games journalism hopeful in 2017 when I was tasked with writing a list of the best RPGs of all time that I first heard of Baldur's Gate.
This is a gaming journalist, people! Go ahead, Pete.
Yeah, I agree. The friggin... and Sencho just put, lol, the bait is real. It really is, because they got us good and hard with this.
Oh, they got me. They baited me right.
Anyway, next paragraph. It was rather embarrassing, actually. I had included all the big names, a good mix of classics and modern hits. Wax eloquent. You write for the gamer, you'd never wax eloquently about anything. About how immersive they were, and even peppered in a personal experience or two. I was pretty proud of it when I submitted it. This was during the pre-COVID era, so I watched as my then editor scanned through it, picking out typos as they went along. Well, first of all, why didn't you proofread your shit?
Well, I also have to submit to editor, so...
Yeah, I know, but
that's not the point.
But the typos... The typos!
I do typos from time to time.
But check your work first!
Well, some of us are lazy.
Anyway, once done, they turned to me and said, dude, where's Baldur's Gate? It took me a second to realise they weren't asking for directions to the train station, and then it sank in. My knowledge of video games was not as extensive as I thought it was.
How?
I did a bit of research, but given that the last game in the series had come out 17 years before that incident, I didn't give it much thought. Life went on, S happened. Again! Oh, I'm gonna do a fuck you, the gamer.
I'm just... How?
And Baldur's Gate faded from no, it didn't fade
No,
from memory. You
it's
just never considered it.
Oh my gosh, it has literally never faded from gamer memory, ever.
Yeah. That's like turning around and saying you have no idea what Ultima is.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, in Dragon's Quest, I think oh, no, Dragon's Quest came up in oh no, it was Quest 64. That was it. It came up in one of Mags's streams actually. Nothing.
Oh God, I need to read this. I need to read this next statement as well.
Oh,
but carry on.
Well, I was just saying, and then a lot of people didn't recognize Quest 64, which to me was a little bit shocking.
Yes.
But I remained quiet. So there are people out there who are not familiar with the whole width and breadth of RPGs. But guys, something like Baldur's Gate is foundational. It's foundational as Final Fantasy. Absolutely, 100%. But go ahead, Pete, read this next statement.
This is the one that I think you quoted to me, and oh God.
Yes.
Then came 2018's God of War, which saw Kratos take on some dainty dude who looked like Conor McGregor, named Baldur.
I hate this whole section.
Maybe he's related to that RPG, I thought. There was a gate leading to various realms involved too. Was this the gate everyone kept talking about? But it didn't matter. I had Valkyrie to switch.
I have so much to say. Oh my gosh. Also, that is hilarious what Cincho said, which is, you guys remember when COD faded from gamer memory?
Never.
Yes, that is the point. Baldur's Gate is to RPG fans as COD is to casual gamers. I said it.
Centro just put BRB throwing up.
Oh my gosh. So
I hope you're not I hope you are actually like just joking.
Nana says this has to be fake. That was my first thought. I don't think it is. So here's
no,
what
I really don't think it is either. This is just so asinine. It just can't.
There seems okay.
I can't.
I have a lot to say. There seems to be a new thing in journalism right now, gaming journalism especially, of ignorance is legitimate, let's say. When I was going through university and journalism, which is what my specialty was, only like one semester, but it was all about authenticity, factual representation. We weren't big on op-eds and that sort of thing. And so I'm trying to avoid chat right now because I really want to get through this point.
I'm trying to avoid this article, but I can't help but keep reading.
No, the article is terrible, Pete. It's going to make you angry.
Yeah, I just got to the bit where it says about effing a bear.
Yes. Okay, yes. But, not my point, but yes.
I know, but still.
So, for some reason, we've entered this new era where ignorance is praised. Ignorance of games, ignorance of your gaming heritage, of your gaming history, and that sort of thing. It's almost become cool to be an anti-gamer gamer. And I'm sorry, I realized that this could fall under gatekeeping, and I get that, but I hate this. Now, to add into that, my love of mythology and my enjoyment of D&D. So, I'm currently watching a TV series, which some of you may be familiar with, called American Gods.
I've heard of it.
There's only 3 seasons. It's a Neil Gaiman product, so I thought I would try it. Plus, the first season is done by the Hannibal crew, which everyone knows who watches this I Love Hannibal, the TV show. First series is boring as heck. Couldn't get through it. Second series is amazing. Third series is boring as heck. None of that matters, because what it's really talking about is mythological gods and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a total of maybe 3, and I'm being generous here, 3 episodes to figure out who Baldur is in this series. It's quite obvious from his name because his name translates to sunlight, which, if you know anything
Oh,
about Balder,
okay.
he is the god of light. But I'm a dorky, nerdy nobody. I know who Balder is. I knew who Balder is before God of War. It was awesome seeing him in God of War. It's funny that you call him Conor McGregor. That was actually kind of funny.
I mean, he
Balder,
does kind of
he does.
like him a bit in that game for
Like
sure.
I can't deny that. That is kind of true. But Baldur's Gate, as we all know, Baldur's Gate. Look, we're all nerds here. Baldur's Gate is a very well-known D&D reference place. It's
Yes.
a place.
Yes, it is.
Much like I was gonna pick a place from Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings. Just pick any the Shire or the key
Mordor.
Mordor. Now that's probably the best reference right there, Pete. Actually, so Baldur's Gate is just kind of known among nerds. Why would you get a non-nerd to write an article about RPGs? I'm very confused by this, and I'm actually quite angry about it. How can you not know who Balder is, and also Baldur's Gate, and be a nerd? And if you're not a nerd, why are you writing for a nerd geek publication? And yes, I realize that makes me kind of a bigot, I guess. But I am. I think that we have so little voice in our spaces as nerds and geeks.
Yep.
Please just give it to us. You know, not a lot of us are rich or connected. So we don't get the privilege of just being handed a job. So let us have our space and let us speak on these things.
You have your space. You have your space is plenty enough.
Yes.
Why do you feel you need to co-opt everyone else's spaces?
Exactly. Let the nerds speak is what I say.
Do you remember back in the 90s where it used to be a completely closed off thing where people weren't able to speak about it in public because you were considered the nerdiest of the nerds?
Oh my gosh. My mother back in the 90s, she called me the nerd queen. Because like I could talk for hours about Isaac Asimov, Neil Gaiman back then, X-Men comics. Like this was not mainstream. There were no Marvel movies. There were no the conventions. Oh my gosh, the conventions. We had one in Houston. It was done in secret, like in a little quiet hotel.
And I tell you, the only thing that hasn't changed from there.
What's that?
Hygiene.
Okay, yes, that's true. There is a convention smell, people, and it's real.
People like to call it the con crud.
I just say, wash your ass. That's all. Like, it's not that difficult. Just do that. You know?
I think we have an episode title.
Wash your ass. Yes.
Yes, cool. It's done.
Yes, just do that when you go to a convention. But yes, exactly as Nana says. That's good too, said Joe. But Nana says, at least have respect for the series. That's really the bottom line of this. I mean, of course, I'm annoyed by various points of each of the articles that we've read from. But the bottom line of actually all of this is just when it comes to games journalism, let gamers be journalists. Let us write about the series that we love, that we know, that we understand. Don't just go like, and look, Kotaku's the worst of it. Kotaku is just like, how can we make people angry to come look at our website? Let's just write about this, and it might be a non-gamer writing about a gaming subject, as we've seen very often.
With plenty of disparaging things to say about gamers.
Yes. Why can't we have a publication that is positive and it is for gamers, about gamers, written by gamers, much like Rap Reviews UK?
Hey, well done.
Yeah. But I mean this honestly, as the bigger publications, I read a comment on one of those articles and it said something like, a lot of people cut their teeth on someplace like Polygon so that they can have a byline so that they can progress on to more, quote, legitimate news sources. Don't do that.
Let's
Just,
be honest, most of the people that actually work at Polygon fail upwards anyway, because they
they
probably should be fired.
they do. There's a lot of connection there.
Yeah,
uh
it's honestly, it's such a clique,
it
as they
is.
call it. This is something we discussed with Sophia many,
Mm-hmm.
many, many
Yep.
moons ago.
Yep.
We talked about the gaming clique. We talked, and I'm still calling it clique. Thank you. Now, because I got corrected. Um,
Whatever, it doesn't matter to me. Yeah, but
no,
yeah, I know what you're
I
saying, Pete.
know,
I know.
but she mentioned it then. It's still that way because because of stuff like this. Like, who in their right mind thinks that most people would be able to read this, get away with it, and still have a job at the end of it when they're pretty much calling
Exactly.
out stupidity in their own industry?
Well, you know what it's like? It's like paying a restaurant reviewer to who doesn't, let's say this, paying a vegan restaurant reviewer to go review a Texas Roadhouse, which is a steakhouse in the US.
Yeah.
Why would they review that? They're not meat eaters, you know? You're not going to get an unbiased opinion about how great this steak is because they don't eat steak. So, yeah, I'm comparing us as
You,
carnivores.
I don't care. They are missing out.
I mean,
That's
they
amazing.
are. But I'm sorry. Yes. So why would you ever hire a non-gamer to write about gaming things? I don't understand it. I don't think it's right. Um, and I hate to see that this has become a very pervasive thing.
Mm.
Um, oh, I like what Sencho says. But everybody loves
What, the
people.
final statement?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody loves people that pretend to be something they're not while trying to rage/innocence bait for attention. No, that's exactly the basis for these articles. And I'm confused by it because I'm very much
Yep.
into authenticity. Um,
You can tell when something is inauthentic.
oh, yes. It makes these weird alarms go off inside of me. Like, I know I'm autistic, so I don't pick up on body
Yeah.
language. I don't pick up on hints. But I can tell when something's inauthentic because all these, like, alarm bells go off inside. And I'm like, oh, I don't like this. It feels weird.
Also, I've just realised. I mean, I got that with this headline,
Uh huh.
but also as you read through the article, you realise that he wasn't too afraid to actually ask, or the
Yes.
author wasn't too afraid to ask because they got told about it.
Yeah. I'm.
So
I'm.
this is stupid as is anyway.
I shouldn't be bothered, but I am bothered. No, I am bothered when
I'm massively bothered.
geek slash nerd publications don't know their basic gods, basic mythology. Because let's be
Mm-hmm.
honest, most of us are into mythology. At least
Yes.
most of the geeks and nerds that I talk to are. That's the whole basis for a lot of the games, you know.
Yep.
And so for him to, it's just like he's proud of his ignorance. Does that make
Oh,
sense? Because that's what it
yeah,
feels
but
like.
that's like I know I'm into my movies and my TV shows
Right.
and all that, but like that's like me going to review theatre.
Oh, right, right. That's a good comparison, Pete. Actually,
It's just dumb. They're two completely separate mediums, you know.
yes,
And like, I just don't understand why they need to co-opt an industry just to
right.
feel like they fit in. You don't have to fit in.
No, just let the
If
nerds be
this is just for
nerds.
the Yeah, if this is just for the sake of getting a paycheck, then you're in the wrong industry.
Yes, I
You
agree.
shouldn't do this for the money. You should do it for the passion, for the love, for the care of the industry.
That's the thing. I mean, if you remember about, I don't know, like 5 or 7 years ago, there was a video that was circulating around. It was circulating around Twitter.
Hmm.
um, and it was a guy watching the Pokemon reveal, I think, at the time of the new characters. And he was so excited, he teared up. And half of the
Oh,
people were like, women
dude,
and
what the
men,
hell?
Yeah, saying, "Oh, he'll never get a girlfriend. He needs to put down the video games, or he needs to man up, and he needs to do this, blah blah." Meanwhile, I'm going, "Oh my gosh, I think I love this guy." you know,
Look at the passion.
the
Look at the care.
passion like that
Look,
gets me.
look, look. Let me tell you something,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I'm not afraid to turn around and say this live on stream because I don't
Mm-hmm.
care. This shows
Yeah,
me
exactly.
completely as is.
We're very authentic here.
When the very first trailer for Super Mario Odyssey came out, my God, I shot it here because
Oh
the
yeah,
music was incredible, the visuals are amazing. It was everything I sort of was looking for as a Mario fan. I was like, sweet, the
absolutely.
new 3D Mario's coming out. I'm astonished, and this looks incredible.
Well,
You know, what is wrong with that passion?
see,
Nothing.
I freaking love that passion. And in fact, on this very channel, we live streamed when Halo Infinite dropped. And I
Mm.
know me and Kieran specifically, and maybe even you, Pete, but I know me and Kieran specifically said we teared up.
Yeah, I could hear it in the both of you. You proper
Oh,
were nerding out at that.
I was nerding out so hard as soon as I saw Master Chief talking to the new Cortana. Uh, I and then like they said a line like "Go save her" or something like that.
Yeah,
I was just like I
that was
was
it. You
literally
were
moved to
gone. You were done.
tears. So
It was
it's like,
great.
yeah, exactly. Why can't we harness that? Please, let's harness that and put that into journalism. Why do we have to
Yes.
have somebody's nephew that needs a writing job because they want a writing byline so that they can get a job at the New York Times, in 6 months? Why do we have to entertain that? And I don't think that's fair. I really don't.
Also, why is it that gaming journalism is a stopgap to other industry jobs?
Boom. There. That right there. Why does it have to be? It shouldn't be. It should be its own thing, you know.
Why is it that you're not getting film critics reviewing games?
Exactly. Oh gosh, yeah, good point. Anyway, Pete, do you want
Yeah,
to read
that's
chat?
it.
Because it is popping off.
Yes, I shall read a little bit, but then we have to go.
I know we have to go. We have to
So, right, where do I start? So, uh,
There's a lot.
r-
Chat went cricket.
yeah.
I love chat. Thank you.
Anyway, so I'll start here. So Mike Tendo put, "That's not dark humor. That's just dark. Mario's been killing kids since the N64 days. Baby penguins, anyone?" And then he put, "That is true. They are still forever falling into a bottomless abyss."
Oh.
Brilliant.
Oh.
Um, Sencho put, "Hot take, D&D is absolute trash role-playing system. Good for games, though." I
Yeah,
kind of agree.
we
I
agree.
kind of agree.
100%.
Nana put, "It seems cool, but I feel like it's going to get pushed for Game of the Year in a year where Zelda and RE4 Remake came out."
Oh, Baldur's Gate.
Street Fighter 6.
Ha! For me, so far,
It's
I
not
mean,
get. Oh no, Street Fighter's getting nowhere close to
I
that.
know. And it's a bit early for us, but Baldur's Gate is pretty much up there for me.
I, I'm not
I've
gonna
really
lie.
enjoyed
Based
it.
on the impressions alone of it, oh, it's a nail on for Game of the Year so
It's
far.
really good, guys. It's
Yeah.
good.
Anyway, Sencho put, any apocalypse world system,
Oh.
Pathfinder is even worse than D&D. I'll refer to manhandling games from now on, with a laughing face. Oh my god, just being voice when there is one girl, watch all the guys go full moron mode immediately.
wait. I have to go look at that one. What?
Oh my god, just being voice when there voice chat, I think he means when there is one girl, watch all the
Oh!
guys go full moron mode
Yeah,
immediately.
holy crap. He ain't wrong because I've said this
Yes.
before. It usually is like they think you're a 10-year-old boy because your voice
Yep.
is so high. And then as soon as like usually I'm gaming with a friend, my friend will
Mm.
go, "Dude, that's my friend. She's a girl." They'll be like, "Oh, so what you doing? How you doing?" They sign
Yeah,
to
all
your
right,
DMs.
Joey.
It's like, "Oh god." Yeah.
Anyway, I need to read through these because we've
Yes,
got.
sorry.
I need to hold. Yeah. So I would say to Nana put, I would say female MMA star as well because outside of Rousey and Nunes, there's none who are household names.
Yeah, used to be Kara,
Um,
what's her face, but
yeah. Sencho put, I love crying.
yes,
Good.
which I acknowledged is
And
awesome.
he also said, I always hear, so you play The Sims, right?
Yeah, Females played. That's what we play.
Yeah,
Sims.
Nana,
Which I
I
do.
said I expect people to say COD and FIFA. You're part everywhere. No. Sencho, in talking about the first article, was said, "Would you like to touch my controller, darling?"
I need a gamer boy. I need a gamer boy. I would send him
You,
so many sexy texts.
yeah. He then also put, "I will always put my vibrate settings on max." Brilliant. Um, Nana put, "Well, this bad news for you. That is the point of an RPG. Why do you think Rezo says he lives for the grind?" That is correct.
Right.
And also, never say anything positive about Rezo on the... No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Very good.
Anyway,
Pete, very good.
Sencha, I'm not gonna talk about the episode name suggestions that he's saying, but he said, "Lol, the bait is real."
Yeah, absolutely.
That is correct. Yeah, he baited me with that free framer. Anyway, reference you will never get. Yeah. Nana put, okay, to be fair, I would add Neptunia on that list, and that's debatable by many people. I might not
I
have
have
put
to look up to that one.
Neptunia or
Neptunia.
I
Probably
do,
if I
anyway.
saw the art, I would recognize it.
Yeah.
Because that's how I recognize things.
Yeah. Sencho put wax eloquently? Question mark. That's my new favorite hobby description. And then Sencho put, "Yo guys, remember when COD faded from gamer memory?" No. Nana put, "I mean, Dragon Quest has insane history over in the States and Europe. It was called Dragon Warrior for a bit, and
Oh,
that
right.
is true."
I didn't know that.
Uh, yes, I think the first couple of
Wow.
games in the series were. Anyway, he then put, "This has to be fake."
Yeah, that article, it felt
Yeah.
so fake, but it's not. It's real.
Yeah, Sencho put BRB, throwing up. Please, let's hope that wasn't actually real throwing up, just discussed at this article. Nana put, also, we need to do an episode of our games becoming too much like films. That is amazing. Nana, you're in. You've signed up for that episode now. Because it's becoming like a lot of people are from like, oh, I can't like a film. Guess I'll make a game, and it's very frustrating.
That's definitely a thought. Yeah, that's a thought exercise right there.
Yeah. Sencho put, it's the thing when you make a sick advance on someone out of nowhere. Like, want to do it? Wait, what? Just kidding. Asking for a friend. We've all been there.
That's I haven't, but yes.
Boulder is a gate, I think.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate, also called
Mordor.
Mordor.
Oh, that's awesome and terrible. Oh my
And he put,
gosh.
"I'm so sorry." Look, you gotta laugh. I don't care.
That was really good.
Nana put, yeah, for certain games, I really think you need people that are passionate about the game in question.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, another one I'm skipping for episode name titles because we've already got one. For example, Nana put, Nana put, or at least have respect for the series. For example, I probably would refuse a review of an Uncharted game. I'm not really sure what that's all about.
There you go.
However, I'd love to do a review for Dynasty Warriors, since I have a lot of respect for that series.
Exactly.
Yes.
Although, I mean, we can't deny that, yes, coming in, reviewing a game as, like, cold, like, not knowing anything about it, that's kind of cool in its own perspective as well.
Yeah.
But I would still rather hear op-eds from actual gamers.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Sencho put, but everyone loves people that pretend to be something they're not while trying to rage innocent bait for attention. No, I love when people talk for everyone based on their opinion with a weird smiley face. Thank you, Nana. Honestly, Street Fighter 6 should get nominated at least, honestly, even though it won't. And then Sencho put, and this is correct, always pile on Rezo, he's a guile main.
It's true.
And that's the comments.
Yes, very good. Thank you so much, chat. You've been amazing.
Yes.
And also, thank you for listening to me and Pete's cray Vince. Ranty Vince. I couldn't help it. Pete sent me those, and I was just like,
I knew what I was doing when I sent them.
And I knew you did. I don't like it when women set our movement back 50 years. And I also don't like people who celebrate their ignorance. So,
I also don't like the publications think it's great to swear in publications these days.
yeah,
So yeah.
I'm gonna agree with. I mean,
Oh,
it can be seen as kind of prudish, but it's too much. It's too
I don't
much.
care. It's just you have
Too
a
much.
dictionary. You should expand your vocabulary.
I think it can be funny if done in a certain way, but this wasn't it. This ain't it, Chief. Uh, plus, it just
Brilliant.
gets that whole article by the chick is very crass. So I'm warning you
Yeah.
beforehand. It's not
Yep.
something for the lighthearted. It's not enjoyable. It's very
Yeah.
crass.
Also, I'm now sick of looking at Ewan McGregor's face in that article.
See, I thought you said I'm sick of looking at you, and I was going to be like, what?
No, Ewan McGregor.
I do love Ewan McGregor though, but I don't like it
Yeah,
in
but I'm
that
sick of
article.
looking at his face in that article. That's what I
Yeah.
said.
Mm.
Anyway, let's call it a night.
We're going to call it a night, as Pete said. But we do thank our wonderful, beautiful, fabulous audience for joining us. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much. I know it was a weird time, midweek, a Tuesday, way late. Poor Pete has to get up and go to work. I actually technically do too. We do hope that you enjoyed this little rant. We don't do these very often because we try not to get political on here. We try not to get too ranty, that kind of thing. But these two articles needed. Well, also RDR
Yeah.
being released. You know,
Yes.
We needed to share our opinions. Let's be honest.
Yes. Yes, we did.
But
It was one of those episodes where we got baited hard. I was not down backing.
Masturbators that they all are. But well, I don't really have anything more to add to that. I will end it.
Neither do I.
Masturbators. We do thank our chat for joining us. If you want to see Pete's reactions to my cray sayings, you need to join us over on twitch.tv/rapid reviews. We also want to wish Mags and Andrew good luck this week. You guys are going to do amazing. Next year, hopefully, Pete and I can get over there.
I'm going to hope to.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I think next year, Pete and I will be able to do a lot more.
I hope so.
Yeah, live stuff. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Yep.
But we're going to wrap it up now. So, Pete, do you have anything to add before I
Nope.
close us out?
Nope. Just do not give clicks to the gamer or Polygon.
Yeah, I wish we could screenshot those articles.
And for Christ's sakes, don't buy the port of freaking RDR either.
Yeah, maybe not.
Don't give Rockstar the justification.
Just go to CEX. Look, let's just be honest.
Do what I did. Buy it elsewhere.
Yes.
Pre-owned. So they get none of your money.
I agree. I have to agree with Pete.
Polygon.
Yes.
Nice.
I like that a lot.
Good.
But I think that's going to do it for us for this part. We're going to stick around for the after show, but only for a couple of minutes because, like I said, Pete's got to go. He's got to go to bed.
Yes.
I have
Been a long day.
Yeah, and I have to get up and do a workout. You know what? My workout is running and burpees. So if you know what burpees are, you know it's going to be miserable.
You're ranting again. Come on.
I am. So we're going to end it right now. Thank you so much for joining us. And we will see you and talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thus ends the podcast portion.
Wow. Wow.
I drank a lot of wine tonight, but I didn't drink last week. Did you realize that, Pete? I only drink when I'm around you. I'm wondering how I'm going to do that when we do the meetup. That's in October, right?
Pass.
I need to figure all that stuff out. I haven't even looked. I need to.
Let's not, because I need to. I'm definitely not figuring out at present.
I like what Cincho says, which is prawn.
Yeah, so do
That's
I.
what I used to say. I used to say prawn.
I think everyone has sort of co-opted the prawn thing. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I need a boyfriend. But Yeah, so that was ranty, but I hope not too
Very.
angry because we're not like
It
angry,
it was.
angry.
I don't think it came across that way, but tell
I
us if
hope
it
not.
did.
Yeah, tell us if it did because it's like we're passionate, but I didn't want to be too angry, but I was annoyed. You know what I'm mostly annoyed about? I think it's probably pretty obvious that she was like, "Oh, I let my husband play."
I got nothing better.
Like
I got D&D.
I do try to be understanding, and of course, like Pete's a perfect example. You can be a gamer who dates a non and is going to marry a non-gamer. It's possible, but that's because Rachel is very open-minded and understanding. She already knows, full stop. Like she doesn't
I was honest at the very beginning about what I did and what I didn't do.
exactly, like she's not out to stop you. You know that kind of thing. There are people I have dated. I guess you could say date. Yeah, dated. The first guy I was in a serious relationship with, I've mentioned before, James, he hated that I gamed. He was very jealous of the time I spent gaming. And I'm sorry, but I'm a gamer.
Screw you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, look, my Sims, they gotta have furniture and I need to tell them when to pee. So, sorry. But,
Screw you, dude.
oh, he hated it. He tried to throw my PlayStation 3 away. That was kind of one of the ending things. And I was like, I swore I'm never going to date a non gamer. Which, again,
Mm.
it does happen. Like, I never want to judge people. It does happen. I just think, no, you know what? I'm going to change it up a bit. Here's what I'm going to change it to. If you're a female gamer, you need to date a male gamer. That's really what it comes down to. I think a male gamer can date a female non gamer and it be
Yep.
okay. I really do.
Yeah.
I don't think, and if anybody out there hears this and wants to correct me, please do. I don't think you can be a female gamer and date a male non gamer. That's the difference, I think.
Hmm. I can't
I
say I've ever heard that before.
it it does
No,
happen.
not in the fact that like you have a female gamer dating a male non
Well, I
gamer.
mean, I
It
did.
doesn't happen frequently.
It doesn't. It doesn't. And like I said, right after him, I did hang out with my bestie at the time, and we played Halo 3 just constantly, just constantly. It was amazing.
Noise.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun times. But dating a non gamer as a female gamer, very difficult. Very difficult. I can't advise it. I can't. I just can't. I'm sorry. I know that sounds so terrible and it does sound like I'm gatekeeping. But I literally can't. Like, I spend hours gaming. Right now, oh my gosh, I want to show off my. You know what? Maybe I will show off my Minecraft. I'm going to show off my Minecraft server right quick. I'm very proud of it. And I've spent hours in it. I've spent like hours in it because I built a skyscraper.
Nice.
Like, who's gonna understand that, you know? Like,
Not many people.
no, they won't because it's literally ours. But Cincho says, I hate that you like X hobby. Lol, great foundation. Yeah, see, that's another thing. Please only date people that you have something in common with because you're gonna get very annoyed and tired of them later. I think you can. The guy just has to be cool with it. Okay, yes, let's be honest there, which I think is less likely than a girl being cool with it. I'm gonna agree with you. Guys are butt heads. I can't even advise dating men, really. Look, I will say my experience has been terrible.
I mean, I'm a man, and I know I'm a terrible person at times, but that's
No.
not just because I have a meat and two veg, but it's because I can be a dick sometimes.
Well, which also is because you have a mean too much. Uh, I think
Yes, but
everyone.
that's not specific to
No,
gender
that
fluidity
you
or
took the
whatever.
words. You took the words right out of my mouth. Okay, let's try and show off my Minecraft. Okay, so I built
Okay.
this skyscraper, which took me a full week.
Damn, that's impressive.
Yeah. And then there's a lab over there I built. And then.
Aperture science.
It, exactly, Pete. You got it. You already got it right off the
How the
bat.
bloody hell did I know that?
Yep. And then I built also.
Oh, for God's sakes, you're now playing Minecraft.
I am.
Oh, nice.
But I built a closed door as well. So
Oh,
got my giant skyscraper, which took nearly a week. That's 50 blocks.
damn.
In
It's pretty
fact,
good.
I'm going to show
Pretty
you the
good.
inside. I'm very proud of this, but this is what I'm saying. I'm a complete dork.
Yeah.
Finding someone that can accept a female dork is
Yep.
very difficult.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
think
even I look at you and go, "Whoa, that's pretty dorky."
I think it's easier for men to find females that accept them. I don't know. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
wrong, but
Maybe. No.
like,
I'm not sure.
so I also made like offices.
Yeah.
It's very difficult on the iPad.
iPad.
See the lights? I even did a drop
Yeah,
ceiling
I
with those
did. I
lights.
did.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I saw. Very impressive.
I don't get to show that stuff off, but see, so my whole thing is I have to find a guy that's like okay with that.
Yeah, but that's fine.
You know, that's not
Yeah.
easy at all. And then Nana says, I would love a female dork. Honestly, Centro says that's pretty sick. You, just two idiots try to make their way through life is a good thing. I agree. I mean, I need a certain kind of dork that's kind of into philosophy and mythology
Mm-hmm.
and destiny too.
Yes,
And all those
that is true.
wonderful nerdy things. Um, it is very strange. Like, see, people assume this is my little op-ed, as we say. People assume that female nerds just have their pick. They do not, because actually most male nerds are already paired up, and they're paired up with non-nerds.
Yes. Yes, they
And
are.
that is what I keep stumbling into.
Yes. Yes, you do.
It's just a fact of life.
It
And
is,
so it is very,
unfortunately.
like, I don't want to be all victim mentality here, but it is very tough to be a female nerd. It is. And
It can be, yeah. I've met
yeah.
quite a few over the years, and
Mm-hmm.
they've always had a bit of a hard time.
It is. And it's weird because, like, if you read certain publications or you look at social media, they're like, oh, well, oh, girls have their pick. They can have whoever they want. No, they can't, because most
Mm.
dudes are paired up.
Yes.
Yeah, and then, like, my other hobby is obviously CrossFit. Do you know how many nerds there are in CrossFit? I'll
Hardly
tell
any.
you. Yeah, like -2. I think I
Yep.
know two that are nerds, but they're obviously very paired up, like very either engaged or married.
Yeah.
And it's just outside of that, no.
Mm-hmm.
CrossFit dudes are not nerds. They're,
Yes.
so it's like it's very difficult out there.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
But anyway, I
Are you
think that's
done?
going to be enough for
Okay.
us today.
I was wasting time to let Pete do his editing.
I mean, I finished it, but it's not going to go live
Ooh.
until tomorrow morning because
We
I can't.
hope, because it
No,
went live.
no.
early
I
last
mean, I'm
week.
not actually uploading it until tomorrow morning,
Yeah.
so it won't
That
be up at the normal time.
Yeah, so for any of our listeners versus watchers who download our stuff, Pete did not intentionally put that up early. It was Spotify that did it, wasn't it?
Spotify for podcasts, the
Yeah.
scheduling function on it is kind of broken.
Yeah.
So I clearly
wasn't
put, and I
intentional.
screenshotted it to you as well. I
Uh-huh.
put,
Uh-huh.
look, scheduled for 4 a.m. like normal. Nope, went up
Yeah.
straight away.
So that was not intentional. Although it did do really
But it was
well.
a happy accident.
I was gonna say, at the same time, it got a really good traction. So please, out there, I'll wrap this up, but please, out there, if you can listen to us on Spotify, we're located
On all the
anywhere. Yeah, like all the major podcast outlets. And if you can watch us on Twitch for the first week, it would be good.
Yep.
And then watch us on YouTube after that. But
I don't mind how you watch us. Just watch.
Pete's not wrong.
Just watch,
just watch
listen.
us.
Doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't
Your
matter.
preferred platform, we do
Yeah.
not mind. Just enjoy.
Pete is correct. Just do
We
whatever.
we put this show out because, one, we enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
2, we're passionate about it, as clearly shown by today. And 3, we want to entertain you guys and girls.
Yes, I hope you
And
are entertained.
and gender non-conforming people.
Entertained. But yes, Pete is correct. All genders, everywhere.
Yes.
I think that's gonna do it for us. Also, I drank a lot of wine, so I'm gonna go to the bathroom now.
Brilliant. Which is how we usually end a stream anyway.
That is how we end it. That's true. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us. And we will see you next week on time on Sunday.
On Sunday, yeah. So not even next week. It'll be still this
it's only
week.
a couple of days, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I've got to put the show together now.
I gotta buy more wine.
Okay. Oh God.
All right, we'll see.
Get ready for more drunken escapades on Sunday.
Bye.
See ya, everyone. Bye bye.